And welcome inside the Backstage Pass of Monday. It's hard to believe it's like, what, a week and a half left in July. I always say that about every month because you never know where time goes. Almost August is coming up. So if you're celebrating a birthday out there, happy early birthday to you, or a birthday today as well. We always like to give credit for birthdays out there here on the Backstage Pass, again, powered by the Sports Guys, podcast.com, live on that website, of course, the YouTube channel, and everywhere out there now, syndicated KKTC, True Country 99.9. And our friends at HighTideCountry.net. And also the shows have now gone to WSM Radio, the home of the Grand Ole Opry, Sunday mornings from 5:30 to 6 a.m. Make sure you catch it. This week's guest, Nashville recording artist, and she's killing it in Australia. Kaylee Bell will be joining us this coming Sunday, July the 28th. Always good to have one of my show favorites back, presented by the CadenGordonShow.com. Today's best country mix, Judy Paster, new album, Road to the Sun. What's going on?
Hi, great to be here. I love being here with you.
We love you being here, no doubt, especially when these new announcements come out, too, at the same time. Well, tell us all about what's been going on, because I think we haven't talked since sometime last year, probably sometime there, 2023. Hard to believe we're saying 2024, halfway over now. I know a lot of work went into this record, too, and for you, what's been going on?
Have the new album out. Been playing some wonderful shows. I did my album release I did kind of two. One was on album release day at 3rd and Lindsley with WMOT, and that was so much fun. So they do this, the WMOT is like our roots radio station here in Nashville, and they do something called Finally Friday. And so I got to play that with my band, and which I've been rehearsing with and put together this last chunk of time. It's been really, really fun to get out there and playing with a band. Then I did a full album release show at the City Winery up in the lounge a couple weeks later. And that was like last day of May. And that was amazing. Friends and family, and just like a great time. And I'm playing the Bluebird. I'm so excited this coming Friday night. And I've played there before, but I've never done it in the round, like on a Friday night before. So I'm really excited. It's Bill DiLuigi's show, and he invited me in, and I'm so, so grateful. He's one of my co-writers and best friends. And so things are going really well.
Yeah, I love this record. Let's just dive more into this as far as the work that goes into it, the songwriting, every backstory of some of your favorite songs, and maybe one or two that stuck out to you that were like, you know what, these are my favorites off the record. Of course, they're all my babies here and there when you put out that catalog of songs. But dive into more of the record for me a little bit. Yeah.
Well, Road to the Sun is the title track, and I wrote it with Steve Dean and Bill DiLuigi, and the three of us have like a really nice, camaraderie with our songwriting. Steve's a like 6-time country music hit writer, and Bill's got lots of hits like in film and TV and all this stuff, and it's just, they make me better, and it's wonderful. So Road to the Sun is like, it was actually, Bill had an idea. It was Road to Summer. He's like, let's write Road to Summer. And I was like, nah, let's do Road to the Sun. And I just was like, it was just more, sounded like me. And we wrote the song with just the idea of, it's kind of like a mystery, that song. Some of my music is like that, but it's also about, like the roads of life, and, the whole album kind of has the theme of light and finding your light in the dark, and all of that kind of like resiliency and strength and like the deeper things. But not every song is so deep, but that's kind of the theme, and that's kind of the theme of my life. So it's very representative of me as an independent artist and my co-writers. And another song I love is, and also, well, Road to the Sun has like a little bit, it's not really Native American, but it's got like, it kind of has a vibe to it that reminds me of some of my past, and kind of touches on just like, it's got like a cool Americana rock kind of vibe, which I love. And but How God Made Me is another favorite. That's one I wrote just with Bill DiLuigi, and that came from, we were at Bonnaroo, actually. We volunteer in this tent called the Jesus Tent, and we've done it for like several years. And it's just like this big tent at Bonnaroo, and where all the like concert goers can like come and get like refuge from the sun, the heat, or the rain, and they can like get drinks and snacks, and they can just hang out, play games. Um, and we talk with them. If they want some prayer, we'll pray with them. We'll just whatever. It's just a place where they can feel safe. And at this huge concert. And anyway, this a couple years ago, now it's a couple years ago, like two times ago, but I looked at Bill and I don't know why, but I said to him, I said, that's just how God made me. And he was like, ooh, he's like, that's a song. And we came back to Nashville and we wrote that song, and it's been just one of my favorites. And it's been being pitched around the country market too. We have like a male demo. We've got me singing it on the record. So we've got a lot of options with that song, but yeah.
I thought it was fantastic. There was a little bit of something for everybody on it. I think any record that comes out full length is a lot of hard work and just the time and effort that goes into it. And a lot of people don't know that sometimes you don't just step in the studio and record these things one time. You have different takes. You have producers, sound engineers, a whole team to work with. And so you mentioned Bill DeLuigi, who's fantastic at what he does too. And like I said, just getting song titles down, there's a number of ways. I thought one of the cool ones on there was, for me, True Love Has a Cost. I mean, what a title.
Thank you. That title was my husband Megan's song idea. I don't remember how it came to him, but he said True Love Has a Cost. And at that time, like Brandy Carlisle had come out with, I think it was called The Joke, the song. And it was really like, I loved her voice and her minor chords and stuff like that. And I wasn't copying it by any means, but it was in my, I was listening to it. And anyway, I wanted to write a song about the sacrifices of like true love, like any kind of, when you truly love someone or something, seems that there's always a sacrifice. So it is like a pretty deep theme, but it's just a really cool, there's a lot of cool imagery in that song. And it absolutely rocks with a band. It's really fun to play. On the recording, it's got slide guitar. It's definitely like country rock, and definitely one of my favorites too.
Yeah, no doubt too. And a couple others that stuck out. We'll talk about after this timeout too. One's called Back to the Porch, and that made me think about growing up in the country when I was, like I said, little too, running around grandma and grandpa's house out there, loving that one too. So it's really cool to see songs kind of hit you in a lot of different ways too. And of course, you mentioned that title track, Road to the Sun, which is out there. The name of the record came out in May from Judy Paster. Make sure you guys go check it out across all those DSPs. We got to take a time out here because if we don't, then the phone rings, and I want to have just a relaxed day. We got to get the spots in, of course, out there for our friends at HighTideCountry.net and also KKTC True Country 99.9. And now on Sunday mornings, this is the third show coming up this week with Australian country artist and Nashville recording artist Kaylee Bell, 5:30 a.m. Get up, drink some coffee, worship the Lord, and tune into the Backstage Pass on WSM Radio, the home of the Grand Ole Opry. Of course, you can check it out on TuneIn and, of course, the WSM app and WSMRadio.com out there, too, as well. More coming up with Judy Paster. It is the Backstage Pass, the album Road to the Sun. We're going to take a road to a timeout. Be right back. Stay tuned. And, of course, we're here with Blanco Brown on the Backstage Pass, but, of course, presented by our friends over at SandyJuneMusic.com. And Sandy's with us to talk about a great single coming out May 31st. So many great people are behind this project, Sandy. I know you cannot wait for this single to come out.
Yes, it's actually going to come out on the 27th, on Memorial Day.
27th, all right.
Yeah, so we were trying to push it to the 27th, and I think we've made that goal. So it'll be out the 27th.
Well, tell us all about it, too, because you've got the military, the first responders, Kima Police, everybody's behind this.
Yes, I'm so excited. So I teamed up with a friend of mine. She is the founder and executive director for an organization here in Galveston County called Wheelchairs for Warriors. And they make specialty wheelchairs for our wounded veterans. And she's been asking me for about 2 years to write an anthem song for her organization. And it finally happened. And it just turned out beautifully. She helped co-write the second and third verse. And we went to the studio. The music is just beautiful. And so this song is for our wounded warriors. It is hence the name Rolling Strong. It's for the wheels, on the wheelchair, but it's also for the wheels in life. And it's not just for our veterans, but it's for our law enforcement, our first responders, our hardworking American people. And it's a good, wholesome American song with a lot of meaning behind it. There's a lot of people involved in this video. Our Kemah Police Department and Fire Department were involved in this video. And in the video, they shut down the Kemah 146 bridge for the making of this video. And there's just a whole lot of people in this video. I think, the more people that you involve and include, the more people are going to promote that video. But it has a very good, strong message behind it, the song.
Well, I can't wait for it to come out. Again, May 27th, we're going to play it on KKTC True Country 99.9 out there too when it does drop, and do an artist spotlight feature on all this, and of course run this through CMA Fest 2024. We'll be there June 6th to the 9th in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee at Fanfare X, and talking to a lot of people. To check her out, sandyjunemusic.com. Hey, appreciate you bringing us Blanco Brown, and of course all these great interviews we have here on the show, and best of luck with this single for a great cause, and we can't wait to play it on KKTC. Sure appreciate you always, and your support means a lot here on the Backstage Pass.
Thank you so much, Brandon. And I want to add, I will be at the CMA Fest. CDX Records out of Nashville called me the other day. I'll be there singing 2 songs. So I'm excited.
Looking forward to it. We're going to run into each other. No doubt about it. Coming up a little bit, back to Blanco Brown here on the Backstage Pass. And, of course, more great shows coming up over the next few weeks. Struggle Jennings, Kaylee Hammock, Pam Tillis, Daryl Worley. We just stack them up here on the show. Coming right back with Blanco here in just a little bit on KKTC, True Country 99.9 and HighTideCountry.net. Powered by the Sports Guys Podcast.com. More to come. Stay tuned.
The Caden Gordon Show. Today's best country mix is a 2-hour show playing independent and mainstream country music you know and love. Be sure to check it out at thecadengordonshow.com for more information on the show.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And our thanks to the sponsors out there, too. I know that's a little outdated, too, but thanks to Sandy June for bringing us Blanco Brown and all these great artists, too. We cannot do it without you guys out there. The CadenGordonShow.com, today's best country mix, and, of course, everybody, the entire team at the Backstage Pass, again, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com and out there, HighTideCountry.net, and now WSMRadio.com, and, of course, WSM, the home of the Opry on Sunday mornings from 5:30 to 6 a.m. This week's guest, Kaylee Bell, and our friends at KKTC True Country 99.9. Road to the Sun is out. Judy Paster back here with us on the show. Was not Blanco Brown. We had Blanco back a few weeks ago, so we'll update that too at the same time. But again, always great to pay tribute out there to our sponsors. Well, I tell you what, we talked a lot, and I know we're probably halfway through the show right now. I want to hear you sing. You want to play one for us?
Sure.
Let's do that. What are we going to hear first?
I think I'm going to do one off the record called Growing Pains.
Okay.
And I wrote this one with Greg Wilson, and this one is about the challenges that we often face when we want to make a change. And on the recording, Joe Spivey pretty much like takes the lead with his fiddle, and it's pretty amazing. So I hope that you guys will check it out. This is Growing Pains.
There we go.
Counted on, I held on too long. No better time for letting go. I wanna be me, the me I'm meant to be. Ain't no holding me back anymore. Change is a challenge, sometimes a mountain feels like I'm climbing uphill. let these two arms wrap around something new. And I just can't wait. No, I won't be afraid. The past is all I've got to lose. Change is a challenge. Sometimes a mountain feels like I'm climbing uphill. I dig out from under where I find comfort. I get nowhere just standing still. I'm gonna break these chains. I feel these growing pains. Ooh. Change is a challenge. Sometimes a mountain feels like I'm climbing uphill. I dig out from under where I find comfort. I get nowhere just standing still. I'm gonna break these chains. Yeah, I'm gonna break these chains. I'm gonna break these chains. Feel these growing pains. Ooh, growing pains.
And Judy Paster right there, Growing Pains off the album Road to the Sun. Of course, out there across all those digital streaming platforms, came out actually May 17th. So if you guys have not checked out every song on there, what are you waiting on? Feel free to do that too. And if you guys have any, again, comments out there too, feel free to leave them in the comment box. We'll try to get to as many as we can out there. If you got a question for Judy, please be sure and ask that too as well for us here. Again, Road to the Sun across all those platforms. You know, Judy, I think that was fantastic too. Great performance. Back to the Porch made me think a lot about just growing up and in the country, and like I said, with my grandma and grandpa, and having a lot of fun running around, chasing crickets, I don't know, fireflies or grasshoppers, things like that in the country, which is something you normally do, and playing baseball out there and working on the farm too. But this one was hit home for me and went straight to the heart. Back to the Porch.
That one is so special. It's actually the very first one I wrote with Steve Dean and a woman named Cara Hogan, who was the head of the Gatlinburg Songwriter Festival. She was like the president. I think she's since doing something else, but amazing writer also. And actually, I was listening to a worship song, an old worship song called Heart of Worship. I don't know why it was in my head, or it was on YouTube or whatever it was, but I was driving out to Steve's house for the first time, and I was listening to that song, and it says, "I'm coming back to the heart of worship." And as I was listening to that, I turned onto this road that gets me to Steve's house. And there's this big house, like beautiful, pristine, very rustic wood house. There was like a porch and big piece of property and an American flag, very Tennessee looking, very beautiful. And I was like, I'm coming back to the heart of worship. And I just had this idea about like back home or back something. And then when I got there, I shared the idea with them, had a little melody, and we ended up going back to the porch. And that's how that song was born. It is a really special song, just because the porch is something different to a lot of people, but a lot of people also grew up with a porch. And I actually did not grow up with a front porch. I mean, we had like a backyard and everything, but I didn't have like a porch. And but for me, going back to the porch is like going back to, prayer, or just going back to that peaceful place, or it could be your family, or well, sometimes it's not your family, but whatever it is that brings you that sense of peace and safety. And we need that, because the world, like the first line of that song is, about the world going mad. Like I woke up this morning and the world's gone mad. And isn't it like that today, you know? And we've got to find that like solace, that place where we can just like unwind from all of the chaos.
Too much of social media these days can give you a headache. At least for me, it does. I know that. So I try to stay off of it at the same time and just really take in the tunes and listen to music. I mean, I love building my own playlist from the artists that we have here on the show because the music is therapy. That's what it's there for. And it's there to just make you think about what's important in the world. And that is one that I was going to go to next, Time With You, which is, you know, it says it, and it sums it up right there pretty close right there too, that family and significant others, very important these days to really, I think sometimes we take that for granted because we work all the time. I know with me in this job, you work so much and you go to Nashville so much and you miss them. And I spent 9 days just the month of June for CMA week and for the Keith Whitley show that we got to be a part of. So I missed that with my family. And now these past 5 or 6, I'm now getting that back. And so I understand, you know, just so much of what that song means.
Yeah, the value of time. And I wanted to write a song about, I had heard actually Joyce Meyer. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's like this lady, kind of like a preacher. She gives a lot of like, she does podcasts and everything. She's has a ministry, but she's very, she makes a lot of sense. Like when I first heard her, I didn't even know she was like a Christian. I just was like, because I wasn't a believer back then. And I heard her and I was so drawn to her. But anyway, I've been listening to her all these years on these podcasts. And she was talking about the currency of time, how it's like valuable and how when you spend it like money and like there is a return, but when you spend it, it's gone, you know, for that moment. And I think that I went into the writer's room with that, like in my heart, I wanted to write about how valuable time is. And like, it is this like thing that it's like, we can't touch it, but it's always with us, you know, it's crazy. And how then one day, you know, you look back and it's like that time is gone, and how you've spent it is really how it comes back or doesn't come back to you in your relationships or whatever it is. So the song is way simpler than what I just said, I think, but that's what it's about. I love that song a lot.
And it's got a deeper meaning. And I'm glad you explained it like that too, in that form or fashion, because that deeper concrete meaning out there too really explains what that's about, because we do take that for granted at the same time sometimes. And we're always just in a busy work mode that I think for me, it's been nice just to step back and just take a little bit of time to be with the family because I get so busy doing this. And so now it makes me appreciate more of the time. And my daughter's going to be in kindergarten next year. It's can't even, I don't know where the 5-year mark went, but it's coming. It's almost here. So you look back at that and you tell yourself, you know what? Hey, you put on a tune like that, it makes you appreciate that. It makes you think deep inside what the world is all about and what we should be just enjoying in life, and some of the things that we take for granted that we don't enjoy when it comes back to it. Again, Time With You, Road to the Sun is the album from Judy Paster out there too. Make sure you guys check it out across all those digital streaming platforms and wherever you download or subscribe to your music. We got one more. I'm going to take a quick time out, get that out of the way. And of course, coming back, Judy's got a performance for us, and we'll put the wrap on the show with a little rapid fire. Couple of different questions we'll get to ask her here on the Backstage Pass, powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com. Don't forget Gina Powers coming up at 2:00 today. Looking forward to talking to her as we're doing the Texas two-step today with a couple of shows. And then the rest of the week, some will be behind the scenes. We'll be talking to Robert Earl Keen and Kaylee Hammock, and of course, a whole lot more coming up this week that we're recording for WSM purposes out there. WSM Radio, the show is now on there. The Backstage Pass, Sunday mornings from 5:30 to 6 a.m. out there across all the different platforms. You can catch it at WSMradio.com, the app, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and, of course, a lot of different places. 5:30, 6 a.m. on the home of the Grand Ole Opry out there, WSM. And, of course, our still affiliates out there, KKTC, True Country, 99.9 in Taos, New Mexico, and out there, too, at HighTideCountry.net. More with Judy Paster. Stay tuned. More to come. A word from our sponsors. And, of course, back here on the Backstage Pass, quick time out here for our friend over there, too, and one of our most competitive guys in the business, too, man. He hustled in Nashville a few weeks ago there at CMA Fest 2024. And, of course, moving forward, I've loved the relationship with this gentleman out there, too. He's one of the hardest working guys in the business out there here and partnering with us on the Backstage Pass, the CadenGordonShow.com, today's best country mix. Caden, tell us all about this, man, because you've got a great show out there, too.
Oh, I'd be happy to. Thank you so much for allowing me to partner with you. And the Kane Gordon Show, today's best country mix. We started about 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's when you started the Backstage Pass, was about 5 years ago. So that's kind of funny how we have that resemblance. But we started out back in 2019. I've been doing this for the last 4 years. We're on over 150 stations all over the world, in the US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, South Africa, all over the place, including KKTC 99.9 True Country and many other stations. I also run my own media and promotions company, KJG Media and Promotions. We do radio distribution, all that kind of stuff as well. We've had some big guests on. Recently, we just had the Sarah Evans on the show, so we're super excited to have her and had that interview be done. We've also had Parmalee and Rain Johnson and so many big stars as well come on my show. We've done a little over, I think we're at almost 2,500 interviews I've done in the last 4 years. It's crazy. Yes, I have been. But the best way to find what I'm up to is you could look me up on social media, either under Caden Gordon or the Caden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. And you can go to my website, which is thecadengordonshow.com. That's KAYDENGORDON show.com.
Well, we appreciate you, man. Appreciate the loyalty. Love the partnership here on the Backstage Pass. Had a lot of fun. Accomplished a lot at CMA Fest 2024, and appreciate you always being loyal to us. And again, man, just can't wait to take everything into the next stratosphere out there too with you. And always enjoy having you here on the Backstage Pass. And you'll be hearing from Caden a lot here as we get forward to the next 6 months of 2024. Appreciate you being with us, partner.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You got it. That is Caden Gordon from the CadenGordonShow.com. Today's best country mix and more of the Backstage Pass coming up here too, with more great guests and more great interviews. Stay tuned for a lot more. Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here, Judy Paster, final segment here. Road to the Sun is the album across all those streaming platforms. Make sure you guys check it out if you haven't already. You'll trust me when I say you'll build your own playlist out there. That's what I've done with a lot of her songs and the shows we've done in the past. A lot of great artists too. Just put out so much great music, and again, a credit to all the great songwriters out there too. Not just the artists that record the great songs, but the songwriters who are able to make the magic behind doors too, and of course all the great artists that do co-writes out there too at the same time. Again, I know you got another performance for us here. What are we going to hear?
Well, in honor of you, I think I'm going to do Back to the Porch.
I appreciate that too. I love it. I can't wait to hear this live rendition. Take it away.
Okay, thanks. I woke up this morning to see the world's gone mad. What happened to the innocence we had? All the lies that I've heard, all the chaotic words, I kick my thoughts to the curb. And I run back to the porch where my roots run deep, where I know myself and my heart is free. Somewhere off the grid where there's hope and peace. It's my favorite place where I want to be. So I run back to the porch. I miss the tap of raindrops on the roof. And I long to hear the wind whisper the truth. evergreens, the life-giving streams. So tonight in my dreams, will I run back to the porch where my roots run deep, where I know myself and my heart is free, somewhere off the grid where there's hope and peace. It's my favorite place where I want to be. So I run back. Will I run back to the porch where my roots run deep, where I know myself and my heart is free, somewhere off the grid where there's hope and peace. It's my favorite place where I want to be. So I run back. I run back to the porch. To the porch.
I love it. Back to the porch right there off the album Road to the Sun from Judy Paster across all those streaming platforms too. Takes me back in honor of that. Appreciate you playing that for me because that's what I love to grow up on, with songs that three chords and the truth. I always say a lot of those great things out there to make it. Just love it. The old style, traditional, neo-traditional country music out there too. All right, we got to have a little fun here too. And
Okay.
I know we're always going to have you back on here, but finally, at least for me, I settled my hot chicken debate.
Okay.
I was there for the Keith Whitley show. I went to Prince's over. It wasn't on one on Broadway. It was one, like I said, a little bit probably out of town. They're about 15, 20 minutes from downtown.
Okay.
So I got that one, and I'd had before Hattie B's back at CRS earlier this year. And so I
Okay.
kind of got the medium at Hattie B's. And then at Prince's, I went with mild just because people were telling me go ahead and do that. I guess one, are you a hot chicken fan? For me, I've got to try some other ones, but at least for right now, for the two, I'm a Hattie B's guy.
I'm I like hot, but I don't like fried. So I'm not the best, but I do like Hattie B's. I haven't had Prince's. I've heard of it. Not had it.
There's other ones too, like Party Foul, and some other people say
Party
so much. Because like years back, it wasn't a thing, but now it's a thing, I guess. Well, it's always been a thing, I guess, for Prince's, but others that kind of caught up to it, it was one of those things to where, it was going to come down to it and settle the debate. But I'll have some other ones, and we'll keep just trying to add on to it. But at least for now, I'm a Hattie B's kind of guy. All right, if you were not a working musician, Judy Paster, what other career would you be doing?
Weight training, maybe, like work people out. I don't know how much I can make it that if I didn't work out the stars. So maybe doing that.
I like that. Now, free time when not doing music. I mean, I know you love outdoor activities, right?
I like outdoor activities. Gosh, when I'm not doing music, I like to read.
Okay, that's a good. I like that too. I do. Good
I
book.
read the Bible though. It's like I really get into like Psalms and Proverbs. I'm always trying to like get that to work inside me so that I could do the next right thing. Time with my husband, hanging out. We were just watching TV, like making dinner, stuff like that. Yeah.
All right. Favorite dish. You mentioned dinner there too, because favorite dish, I'm just getting back into it now. So my thing is like, I've been on this breakfast tacos kick as of now because it's easy to kind of make and, present when people are just really hungry there too. Favorite dish to make. What do you like? A breakfast, lunch, dinner, a little bit of both?
I like a little bit of both for breakfast. I like avocado toast or avocado something, like avocado with eggs, whatever. I like avocado, salt, pepper, whatever. And I feel like I'm doing something good for myself when I eat it. And I even got my husband to like avocado. He never tried. I don't think he ever like had avocado before we met. A lot of people haven't, it's interesting, especially like if you were raised in the South, I think, and you like were like more like the Southern cooking doesn't really like include it too much. I don't know if it does nowadays, but anyway. And then dinner, we do a lot of, it's not boring. It's actually really good, but we'll do like a bourbon or a honey glaze, like a salmon. And we do like this is pretty healthy. This is me. This isn't him,
Mhm.
but he loves it. Like brown rice, and he likes like avocado with that at dinner. And I roast vegetables like nobody's business. I'm like Miss Vegetable Roaster. So like broccoli, sweet potato, whatever, a lot of
Mhm.
olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic, whatever I want to put on there. That's
I
what we
like
do.
it.
Mhm.
Makes for good times right there too. At the same time, now I'm gonna put you on the spot. I have not done this, and this is a live show, so I want you to do a mic drop with this. But everybody talks about radio liners, and I want to have some fun with you here on the show because what's it without being a show if you don't do a radio liner? So we
Okay.
got to do this,
All right.
and I want you to look directly in that camera
Okay.
because I love your music, and it's my show, and I do what I want to do. And she's
Okay.
gonna have a little fun with this and say, "Hey y'all, this is Nashville recording artist Judy Paster, and you're listening to the Backstage Pass on WSM Radio." How's that sound?
It's fine, but it's live. So, okay.
It is live, but you know what? You're going to do a mic drop because you're so good at it. So go for it.
Hey, y'all. This is Nashville recording artist, me, Judy Paster, and I'm live on the Backstage Pass. And listen to the Backstage Pass. Now, what was I supposed to say at the end?
That's all good. No, I'm just going to say, I'm going to put her on the spot there too. Listen to the Backstage Pass on WSM Radio. Yeah.
On WSM Radio. Okay, try it again.
Go for it. Take two.
Hey, y'all. This is Nashville recording artist, Judy Paster. And I wanted to tell you to listen to the Backstage Pass on WSM Radio.
And now I'm going to come back out and say, hey, y'all, this is Brandon Morrill. You're listening to the Backstage Pass here on HighTideCountry.net and KKTC True Country 99.9 and WSM Radio on Sunday mornings from 5:30 to 6 a.m. And you need to go check out Judy Paster, Road to the Sun, across all those digital streaming platforms. And check out JudyPaster.com. How's that?
That's great. Thank you.
So return the favor right there. Hey, always appreciate you being with us. Always fun to catch up with you. Road to the Sun across all those digital streaming platforms. Get those streams up out there too. Check out all these great songs we've been talking about today here on the Backstage Pass. And of course, always the Sports Guys Podcast.com. If you miss any episodes, the YouTube channel, we're out there everywhere too. iHeartRadio and of course WSM Radio, the home of the Grand Ole Opry, Sunday mornings from 5:30 to 6 a.m. This week's guest, Kaylee Bell. Don't miss that. She's the most streamed country artist in Australia and New Zealand as of right now, too. Her album is doing very well at the same time. And, of course, check us out at HighTideCountry.net and our friends at KKTC True Country 99.9 are syndicated stations. Judy, always appreciate you. Much love coming up here. Continued success with the album.
Thank you.
Let's do this again, no doubt, my friend.
Thank you so much, Brandon, for having me on the Backstage Pass.
You got it. Gina Powers coming up today at 2 o'clock. Don't miss that one, too. Another breakout artist out there that if you've not heard about, you want to stick around. Judy can probably echo those sentiments. You want to hear from Gina Powers coming up today at 2 o'clock on the show. And then, of course, this week we'll have some behind the scenes. We're recording for WSM Radio there, too, at the same time. And, again, we'll have some that are live coming up this week for HighTideCountry.net and our friends at KKTC True Country 99.9. It's like the pendulum swing. You got to have some live and some WSM, and you got to keep going back and forth to please all your syndicated stations out there, too. We'll see you back at 2 o'clock today here on the Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys Podcast.com. Go check out JudyPaster.com and check out Road to the Sun at the same time. We'll see you soon. Take care.